Greetings, it's Stasiabliss. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about Kundalini awakenings and my mission to live in a world with empowered people. So I'm here, Stasiabliss. I've been walking this path for decades, learning all the ins and outs of the Kundalini awakening, going through my own awakenings again and again, studying in the East and many different traditions and within my own psyche and soul and through plant medicines and whatnot. And I'm here to bring you some of the little tidbits of wisdom that I've learned along the way, hoping that it will support you. So today we're going to talk about Kundalini or a midlife crisis. Kundalini or a midlife crisis. Actually, a midlife crisis is a Kundalini awakening. So when we use that terminology, what we're meaning is somebody who's been going along thinking life is this certain way, and then one day they just wake up and they're like, oh my gosh, is this how my life to be? Or is this really how my life is? Or I can't keep going on this way. Or oh my gosh, I'm getting older, I need to do something different, or whatever it is, some sudden change in perspective that causes you to look at your life anew, differently. Maybe you want to make drastic changes, but the catalyst for this is a Kundalini awakening. So let's get into that a little bit. If you've watched any of my other videos, thank you, but you also probably have a little bit of an idea about this. If this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. It is my honor to be here with you. I hope you'll find many videos here to be supportive resources for you in whatever you're going through and navigating. I tend to utilize tools that help the awakening process, like yoga, meditation, subconscious mind, techniques and modalities and methods like yoga nidra, like emotion code, body code, DNA activations and whatnot, love chanting. All these things have been things I've used on my own journey. So let's talk about a midlife crisis. This is happening younger and younger, so it might not be called midlife anymore, but it's a change in one's life. Okay, it's when life seemed to have been fine and then it changes to where it doesn't seem fine anymore. And collectively, we kind of had the humanity midlife crises in 2020, okay? When we got clear vision about what was going on, or maybe like wondering what was going on and needing to go in a new direction. So here we are, I'm recording this video in March of 2024. 4 years have gone by since that collective midlife crisis, if you will, that collective Kundalini awakening. So where are you on your journey? If you had not already started your Kundalini awakening pre-2020, you did start it then. Like it or not, and that's what happens with the midlife crises, like it or not, that collective event was a catalyst for individuals on planet Earth to begin their journey. So we'll just say everyone's been having a midlife crisis or a life crisis for the past 4 years-ish, 3-4 years. And, some of us with the Aquarian and Piscean energy that's been really heavy in the astro lately, it's causing us to lean into needing to look at our spiritual health, needing to look at the deeper parts of us, and maybe we don't really know where to go from there. So that's what my channel was created for. I hope that you can find it as a good resource. But today I want to specifically dial into this idea of the crises, whether it's midlife or just life crises, and look at what a crisis situation invokes in us or causes us to do. Okay, a crisis will, first of all, eliminate all other focus, right? Everything goes to the crisis. So when there's a Kundalini awakening, which is also this life crisis, it is because it is being required of you to bring all your attention to your spiritual health. That's the number one thing. Can't pay attention to anything else. just your spiritual health is required. This is something we don't all focus on in this collective reality. Even if you are a faithful person and you attend church regularly, that's really like a mild form of spiritual health. Spiritual health, what does it encompass? Well, I get into that a lot of my courses and workshops and in my video series and so forth, but it really is about learning about the spiritual mechanics of the body and that inner functionality, what's going on when you close your eyes and withdraw the senses into the inner realm, what's going on there. This is a lot of psychic work, not like becoming a psychic, but learning psychically, psychosomatically, what's affecting your physicality and your reality. So the spiritual mechanics basics are the spine and the spinal column with Sushumna Nadi, or that channel for life force energy that I talk about in almost every video, and your subtle psychic centers, aka the chakras or vortexes that are situated along the spine. So again, as I say in each video, each of them are responsible for a certain psychic information. They hold perspective. So when we go into a crisis, we are being directed to look at ourselves. It's really easy to externalize and look out there and distract ourselves with a million different things. But the number one thing about a crisis situation is the focus and the attention on the one thing, whether it's an accident that's happening or a crisis, a Kundalini crisis is what I'm going to call it, situation internally, okay? That means your body and your spirit is disallowing you to really focus on anything out there. It's really making you focus on your spiritual health, and it will do that through any means that it needs. Generally, it shows up in a number of ways, a couple of ways. Extreme pain, because pain does what? Pain really hones your focus and makes you pay attention, right? So pain, probably the number one thing that Kundalini will do in a crisis situation is generate some sort of pain, whether it's a head pain, because of the life force energy ramming up your spine into your brain, or it could be nerve pain as your nervous system is being activated, or any number of pain, places in your body where you experience pain or inflammation, where you're now having heightened sensitivity to the places where maybe you had blocks or stagnant energy or weaknesses in the body. That energy is going to go there. So this could also resurface old pains, okay, as these things are coming up. So pain is one way. Another way is like destabilization mentally and emotionally. So if you're feeling super destabilized mentally or emotionally, that also is a sign of an influx of Kundalini, a Kundalini crisis. Because if you can't think straight, if you are like super confused or super anxious, or like you're experiencing sort of manic episodes, this is going to take you out of your regular everyday behavior. You're going to most likely be drawn into yourself, made to stay home, made to like question your health and wellness and sanity or whatever. And in the case where you understand what might be going on, this could be helpful. In the case that you don't understand what's going on, this could add more problems to the fire if you're just going out and seeking a way to suppress the symptoms. So I'm on here to say that's one of the major symptoms of a Kundalini awakening or crisis, is this destabilization, because now you have this influx of life force energy. it really does cause the sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system to go in fluctuation. You're getting, influx to the brain, right hemisphere, left hemisphere. Your psychic centers that were holding you stable before are starting to present you with old feelings, old emotions, old thoughts that could be ancestral, and it can be a bit overwhelming. So the destabilization is the second thing. And the third thing that could lead to sleep problems. So too much sleep, or you're sleeping all the time, or you can't go to sleep, you're super awake, insomnia and so forth, or a combination, right? Like sleeplessness or waking a lot or very strange dreams and so forth. Again, because your life force energy is coming in at such an increased rate, this Kundalini is trying to flush you out. And sometimes in order to like restabilize, we got to go to sleep. Sometimes in order to understand and to work with the energy, we got to be awake. So the sleep cycle can be disrupted. And one good way to work with that is try to get your circadian rhythm back, in rhythm again by spending some time in nature, spending some time outside. I know it's cold in a lot of places. We just had a huge blizzard today where I'm at, but getting out even just for a little walk, 15-minute walk, even if it's snowing, bundle up, get out there and get your circadian rhythm like worked on by nature. I know it's hard to stay out overnight when it's cold, but working with magnets, as I mentioned before, can be helpful, toning and so forth. So the main reason that I like to put these videos out, and I don't want this video to go too much longer, is just so you, as the collective, begins to understand the normalcy of an awakening, that this is part of humans' natural development, is to go through this Kundalini awakening, which a crisis is part of that. Kundalini crisis is part of that because it shakes us out of our normal state. It wakes us up to a new reality, and it causes us to have to, remember, focus on our spiritual health. So if you don't know what to do in that case, of course, you can watch my loads of videos, get some insight. If you want to talk to me personally, there's lots of great books out there that you can read. But most importantly, remember that this is part of the journey, that you're not crazy when this is happening. And most oftentimes you just need to self-care, let it occur, and nurture yourself, maybe increase your vitamin, mineral intake so you can nourish the body that's being depleted through this crisis or shock period where this incredible cosmic energy is coming into your body and you're trying to work with it and stabilize it. Meditation can be helpful to calm the mind. I had an experience recently with a client who was having a lot of these symptoms, and we did some work together, and it seemed to increase her activation, and that made her very uncomfortable at first. And so doing some more like calming, relaxing techniques were more soothing to her. Some people really like to go with increased activation and just plow through it and work with things like Moldavite and do DNA activations. That can be helpful sometimes. Other times we want to calm the system. We just want to nurture. We want to do meditation, meditative processes. So if I'm working with you, the best thing to do is to tune in one-on-one, face-to-face in a Zoom call so I can feel where you're at and get an idea of where you're trying to go and decide the best techniques. It's not always something you can tell by just listening to some ideas of what might be good. So that's some help that I can offer. Of course, use your intuition if you feel like something might be helpful to you, of course, but know also you are working off of, in the initial stages of an awakening, old triggers and old emotional stuff. So sometimes our intuition can be a little bit wonky during those times. Readings can be really helpful to help see what's really going on. Body code and emotion code can help you see what's in the underpinning. Just some little tips to help navigate a crisis situation. Baths with Epsom salts are always good, always good. And just giving yourself permission to have bad days or down days, crisis days. Ashwagandha is one of my favorite herbs for balancing the system. Maca is a really great herb for balancing the endocrine glands. Chanting is always great, always, always good, and very calming to the nervous system and very integrative. So if there's any way I can be supportive to you through a crisis, whether midlife crisis or early life, as we all go through this collective awakening, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'm sending you so much love, and I'm saying you can do this. This is part of why you're here. You came for this. It's built into you. So just know that you're not going mad. You're not broken. This is part of the process, and you can do this. Okay, much love, and I'll see you tomorrow.